to the Author to Authority podcast, and I am so honored today to have Nageen Riffat on the show. And she has an incredible story that she's going to share with you today. And not only is she an incredible leadership and business coach, but she's also the author of #HerRhythm. You are more than your survival story. And I don't want to talk too long because I want to give her the most opportunity just to be able to share today. So welcome to the show, Nageen.
Thank you so much, Kim. And it's my pleasure coming to the show and speaking about all that I have already written. And I get on stages and I speak about it. But doing this podcast is really important to me for the reason that I've been associated with you for a year now, probably a little more than a year. And I remember that while we were working together on this book, I gave you a tough time, didn't I? Because, and let me tell you, viewers or listeners, because you will be seeing me on the YouTube, but listeners, if you're just listening to the podcast, Kim really digs you deep inside. And because whatever I'm going to share you, I think I would encourage all of you to get the book and read the book because it has got everything in detail. We will use this 1 hour exclusively for kind of telling you all about the message that the book has, the core message, because that is so important.
Yeah.
But why I said that Kim really digs you deep inside is because, and I gave her a tough time because she would touch areas where I wouldn't want to go because I said, no, that thing is healed and I don't want to go there and it will hurt me and all that blah, blah, blah. But then Kim would, encourage me to go revisit because I don't know if that is right. I mean, I cannot say why Kim was doing it, but what I felt is that the more she encouraged me to go and visit those areas from a different perspective with more positivity because I was writing the book. So while I was sharing with her on phone or whenever we would talk or on emails about the things that I was scared to share with the world, she would listen to me but encourage me to go and look into it. She understood why I didn't want to, but then she wanted me to do it. Today, after the completion of the book, after how well the book is doing and the kind of support that I'm getting from my clients and, the audience is becoming larger and I'm getting more stages to speak, I realized that it was so important to be authentic, to be truthful, and live through that phase of revisiting it because I remembered everything with pain in my heart. I remembered everything with a grudge in my heart. My soul was bleeding. That's how I remembered all those moments. But now Kim wanted me to go and look at those areas, look at those moments, and find out what I learned, what they actually taught me, and deciding to write a book is one thing, but it's like she wanted me to know why I really wanted to write this book. And when I started visiting those were moments when I was crying. I was almost into tears when I would talk to Kim about them or write about them. But then I realized that, okay, from that particular event or from that particular scene of my life, this is what I got into. This is what the decisions that I made, were they right? Were they wrong? And, why I did them. I mean, I started scrutinizing, analyzing myself as well from a very different perspective. So what I would like all of you to understand is that, yes, there are things that happen in your life. things go wrong. I mean, life is not a bed of roses, let me tell you. Let's be honest. It is tough. There can be so many difficulties. Some may be coming up with financial crisis. Some will find it difficult because of relationships. Some will find it difficult because they have been in habit of drinking or maybe drugs or some kind of addiction. And some may be finding it difficult because they feel that people are not connecting with them. Whatever the reasons are, life is not simple or beautiful for everyone. But the most important thing is that whatever happens in your life, it should not stop you or label you as a failure.
That's right.
You need to step up and see what else you can do. And why, instead of sitting and crying why this happened to me, I still support that there should be a why, but the complete why shouldn't be why this happened to me. It should be, why am I sitting over it when I have options to be better than what I am right now? So just push yourself towards that. Now, since Kim, yes.
I was just going to say, let's stop for 1 second, because I do want to get into that, but let's give them a little bit of your backdrop story, because I think it's important for them to understand where you came from. You came from a very bad situation, and we don't need to go into all the details, and if you want the details, you can read the book, but you basically had to run for your life with your children.
Yes. And so, people always introduce me as a leadership or business coach, or at times I'm introduced as an author. But, the real title that I feel so strong about is that I am a domestic violence survivor, and I have thrived. That's the title that should go with me. I don't know how to put it, but the queen of words is with me. She's going to come up with a title, and sooner or later I'm going to change from leadership and business coach to reflect what I'm saying right now, because I said as a definition, but so
you've given me a challenge. I'm now going to I'm going to think about that and come up with something
do so.
really good for you.
Do so. Okay, so listeners, my story is very different and difficult, but it's beautiful. I was born in a family. I am from Pakistan, basically, and I was born in a family which had a lot of values around humanity, to be more precise. But my father was a pro girl kind of person. He would want his daughter, and I was the only daughter. I have three brothers, sorry. So, and I was like kind of raised as a queen, as a princess, and he wanted me to have both the soft side, like the feminine part alive, but also he wanted me to explore the world and see the world with a different eye. Education was his topmost priority, that women should get education and you should work and all those, the positive things that you can put around women empowerment. That was my dad. I lost him in '96, which is a loss that I still mourn, and I haven't. Let me be honest, I will never be able to get over that, because he was my hero, and he will always be my hero. I have lived on his values, and they have helped me to be where I am today. But after that, I got married in 2000. Sorry, I got married in 1999, and my first son was born in 2000. So now, what I want everybody to understand is that people think that this domestic violence, this physical abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse, it only happens in families which are less privileged. But let me tell you, it's not true, because the family that I got married into was financially very strong, very reputable in the city of Karachi. And my husband was a master's in business administration. He was running his own business. He was in textiles. So everything apparently was, the pomp and show was there. It was always there. I mean, there was no, I mean, there was it. The domestic violence was not because he couldn't bring in home money and he was taking out frustration on me. The domestic violence was not because I was, that he had frustrations of at job or at work, because he had his own, everything was settled. And even the frustration was not that his brother is not, excuse me, the brother is not doing well or the sisters are not doing well. So he, like financial crisis, which are putting him under pressure. There was nothing of that sort. But the mindset, because he and his family were from the mindset that the women are not to study, the women are not to work, and they are there to be, like serve the husbands or the families of the husbands, that kind of mindset. I came from a completely different background, so it was difficult for me to adjust completely. So I had to, like tell him that I really want to work because I was educated. I was having a beautiful job, wonderful, successful corporate career in Karachi, Pakistan. And I was like that I really want to continue my job after my marriage as well. And he kind of allowed me, but then there were terms that were put on me.
Yes.
It's like, okay, you can work, but you have to cook. You can work, but you cannot travel. You can work, but you have to be back home at a certain time. And all those things were there, and it was kind of hindering my career as well. I had to take a back seat many a times in the projects where I thought that I would thrive. I would be the best person to do that, but I would never stand up and say, okay, I'm ready to do it, only because I knew that the project would need my extra time, attention, my involvement, my connection with my colleagues, and this wouldn't be appreciated. But, I was like, okay, at least I can work. So here, a lesson today I can see that that was a big mistake from my part, because I was playing small just to be good in the eyes of a man or a family which had no respect for me.
Yes.
So that was like a compromise that I did with myself. I wasn't forced to do, but that was the most convenient decision that I could make in my comfort zone. Because I thought that, okay, if I go against it, my marriage will be over. How am I going to survive? What will happen to my son? Because at that time I had one son. And then I was like, what will happen to him? How are we going to continue life? And back in Karachi, Pakistan, still things have been better now, but still there is a lot of a kind of hatred is a strong word, but a lot of dislike for women who are divorced or who are single. So they're not accepted in the society. Even if people don't say in front of you, they would talk behind you, or what happened that her marriage is over, or why didn't she get married, etc., etc. So keeping in mind everything about the culture and thing, I said, no, I'll just continue with the marriage. And then and then my family started telling me, like my in-laws, because I'm a diabetic, they started telling me that the reason I don't have more kids is because I am a diabetic, I cannot have that. So here I took another decision that, okay, maybe if I give birth to a second child, I will be accepted. So I was doing things for people, of a person who was not at all interested in me. It was like putting his ideas, he was imposing himself or his perception about how a woman should be on me, and I was taking it. And again, a point to notice here is that I was still educated, I was still working, but my mindset was totally blocked. I was in complete state of denial that this is happening to me and it shouldn't be happening. I should have a discussion, I should talk, or I should step out or step up. But I wasn't doing anything because I forced myself to be in that position. I was trying to make things work. Then, just to make everybody happy, I conceived my second son, he is a wonderful boy. I love him so much. No regrets about it. But just I am telling you that why I took that step.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was born and he was a preterm. So that again created a lot of, noise, negative noise in the house that, oh, because she's diabetic, so the boy is, preterm and blah, blah, blah.
You're defective and you can't produce good children.
Yes. So, and he will not grow up to be a healthy boy, and it's a blur on the family and all that stuff. And by the way, he's the most wonderful kid we have in the family, and he plays soccer. We call football in Pakistan, but he plays soccer, which we call here in US now. And he's an athlete. He's a perfect, like, healthy boy, and then he gets good grades. He's an artist too, like he paints and all. So he's a normal boy, but that was the perception that, that's because he's preterm and he's not going to grow and all that. And during all that chaos, I went through physical abuse, which he raised hands on me, and I was like beaten. I was abused verbally, and I wasn't allowed to meet my family. And things got really bad, really, really bad. And in the end, one fine morning, he just asked me to leave the house because he said we cannot continue. So it was his decision for me to leave the house. And I couldn't make this decision for 12 years. I was living in that agony, in that misery, but I wasn't taking that decision to step out. Okay, when he threw me out, again, on his decision, I was thrown out and I walked out of the house. With my two sons, we ended up, you can get the details in the book, but we ended up in our family house, and I started, thinking about how to go from there. And but since I had a good job, so I started talking to my boss about it, and but I was more focused on my work, and I was focusing on children to study and to be more focused towards their school.
Yeah, Nageen, we're gonna have to shorten it just a little bit because your story is so extensive, and I do want to get to some of the other things too.
Yes.
So because I know your story so well.
Yes.
You had to secretly leave Pakistan with your boys because of the legal system there and how they were saying that, your husband had all the rights and you had no rights. And so I do encourage you to read the book because there's so much more to the story. But she had to leave Pakistan with nothing and come to the United States. And yeah, you just really need to read the book. You're going to be fascinated by her story. But I want to talk about something, just switch gears a little bit, and then I want to talk a little bit more about the process of writing the book. But one of the things, the main themes that we explored in your book was the fact that for so long, until he kicked you out, you had really denied what was going on, and you were actually hurting yourself. So maybe talk about that a little bit more.
Yes. And see, again, as I mentioned, that I was in the state of denial. I was denying everything. And the reason is because I was doubting myself. Mm-hmm. The fear stood stronger than anything else. I completely forgot that there is a higher power, which is God, and he will always be with the right. And if you step up, he is going to help you. I mean, you have to, he has promised you that he will help you. He has promised you that he will give you food. But then you are a human being. Even the animals have to walk to their shelter. Even the birds have to fly to their nest. I mean, it's like that. And for me, I was like, no, I will not do it, because the fear was much bigger than my own existence, my faith, my trust in myself. And this all that was happening if I have to be like an advocate for the evil, which was in me, and evil is like fear. I call fear an evil. If I would be the devil's advocate, I would say that, because he had, crushed me so badly that I had started doubting myself. Yes, that's a fact. But honestly, the moment I felt all the decisions that I took after I overcame fear, that led me to a life which now people see.
Yes.
And it is so important. It is no good that you start putting things under the carpet and you just say, okay, this is not happening to me.
Yes.
And everything is fine. I encourage everyone to at least, once in a while, sit and see if there is something going wrong in your life or something that is hurting you or you feel disrespected. Trust me, this is happening to you in reality. So you have to address it. You just can't turn away from it and say, oh, things will get better. They won't get better on their own. Yes, God is there. He will do miracles. And me and my sons breathing freely, living an independent and impactful lives in US is an example of his miracle.
Yes.
100%. No questions about it. But the miracle would not have materialized if I wouldn't have stepped up, because that was the calling from the God that, okay, now take care of your kids, help yourselves, go out, ask for help, and tell people what you're going through.
Yes, it's the testing of your faith, right? You got to take that first step, trusting that, when you do that, God will work the whole situation out for good, right? But you got to take that first step. And so, want to encourage our listeners today, if you have something that you're supposed to be doing, and you're afraid to do it, step out in faith, take that first step and trust. Now, does it always turn out the way we think it's supposed to be? Well, never, but it does turn out to be amazing. And, I remember back, let's shift gears again, because we've probably got about 5 minutes left. So let's shift gears again. And I remember when we first started working on your book, and you were talking earlier in the podcast about there was all these places that you didn't want to go, but when you shared your story with me that first time, my heart was just pounding, and all I could think was, wow, how powerful, and how much this story is just going to change people's lives. And so yeah, we did. And it was hard on you to go to some of those places. But, I just want to say how proud of you I am, Nin, because you did. You went there and, you allowed your soul to be bared so that others could prosper. And so, when you're writing a book, yeah, you do have to bare your soul a little bit. But I think for you, it was such a healthy thing. It so grew you as a person going through that process of writing this book.
Yes. And honestly, listeners, not just because I'm on Kim's podcast, I actually stand on stages and when I write and when I speak, and when people look at me as like a success model or thing that I have overcome, I tell them that, you need, see, as I said, that if you step up, if you step out of your fears, God will help you in his own ways. And connecting me with Kim, making this book happen, and then, like similarly connecting me with other people as well, even in the group that we both are in, the women helping women entrepreneurs, so getting to know Christina. There are so many people who come in your life because you want to conquer something or achieve something, and the help starts pouring in. The universe listens to you. My humble request to everyone, even in the book and even now, is that please don't give up on yourself. Life is, as I said, life is not bed of roses, but please don't give up on yourself. Don't let fear and doubt make decisions for you. You have
Wise
to
advice.
step up and make decisions based on your belief in yourself. You have to have that trust in yourself and faith that there is a superpower that's going to help you. People are going to come and help you. There will be negative people who will pull you down. This is all life. It will happen. But the people who are true to you or who can see your power or that charm or that magic, they will really help you and you will prosper. So I would encourage all of you to read the book. And I take that book not as so the book has, like, the way we came up and we crafted the book is so beautiful, because when I am ad- addressing the domestic violence survivors or people who are still struggling, that book becomes a ray of hope for them, that
Mm-hmm.
okay, if she can, I can also.
Yes.
So it becomes, it's that. But when the same book is shared with the corporate, where I go and help the women leaders or the aspiring leaders in the women, not even women, minorities as well, who feel that they are not seen, or they are, um, they are not so blessed, or life is not good with them. It can be anything. So whether it's because of your sexual discrimination or your cultural discrimination, anything. But when I go to corporate, the same book, the same lessons, when we put into leadership or a corporate environment, it works that way also. Because don't stay in denial, seek for help, believe in yourself. These are all leadership principles.
Yes.
So the book is not only for you as a woman or as a man to pull yourself out from a domestic violence or a relationship abuse situation, but the book is actually directing you to a powerful, impactful life.
That is so awesome. So couple of things. First of all, get Nin's book. It's really easy to find. Hashtag her rhythm. And you can find that on Amazon, and it's Nin, N-Y-N, Riffat, R-I-F-F-A-T. So get the book on Amazon. But secondly, I just want to encourage our listeners, if you want an amazing speaker who's going to give an incredible story and then powerful life lessons on top of that, then, really make contact with Nin. And she's going to give you her contact information in a moment. But contact her, book her to come and speak. Let her just inspire your listeners to just really take steps out there in life. I've been watching her. I think it's well over a year now, because we worked
Right.
on the book for quite a while. And you know, I've watched her grow so much, and I've watched her conquer so much fear and take those big steps of faith. So, she is someone that you really want to have on your stage. So, Nin, how can people get a hold of you, connect with you, book you to come and speak?
You can connect with me through phone, which is 203-985-9590.
Okay.
Then you can also check me on my website, ninrifat.com, and the email address is there, so you can connect through the email. And drop me a line and we'll connect. We'll see how we can work together. And definitely, as Kim said, that I encourage you all to read the book and see how life has been with me, and how between me, my God, and his sent angels in shape of human beings, and one of the angel is right here, Kim. So so all of the how
Oh,
it all worked together. It was a well set plan by God, and how it made me who I am today. And I'm so happy that I can reach out to so many people. I can connect with them and help them. I'm working these days. Kim, if you allow me, I'll just share a little. I'll take a minute to share a little
sure.
thing with them, with the listeners. So we have come up with a membership subscription website, and it's just for $14.99 a month. And if you become a member of that website, I am hosting a lot of experts are there. You have wellness expert, you have coach speakers, you have coaches, you have authors, everybody on the panel, and you can get one-on-one kind of attention from them. You can enjoy their programs because they will be offering special discounts to the members of that website. And other than that, through that website, you can also have one-on-one sessions with me, or if you want to take up my program, everything is at a very discounted rate. Plus, there is a lot of material which will be available for the members to access free, because they are the member of that website. And it is a portal that I have created not only for women, but I'm encouraging young girls, boys, like our university graduates. And this program is going to the universities in US and abroad as well. I have the panel from all over the world. People are joining it. So I encourage you all to do that. Plus, with the panelists, the second phase is that we are going to work together to, start some kind of competitions with our members, so that we can actually help them identify their talent, whether it's music, whether it's writing, whether it's speaking, and then groom that person, the winner, groom that person to achieve his or her dreams. So it's a big thing coming up, and we spend so much. We spend like on Netflix, on Starbucks, coffee, and so many things. We spend our gym membership, and it's all that we are doing things externally. But this website is going to bring you a lot of support and guide you. It will be your internal compass, because you will be associated, connected one-on-one with so many beautiful experts out there. So I encourage all of you, if you go on nageenriffat.com website, you will have all the details. And we have come up with a beautiful name, which is #IMU, and which is expressing that we all are one and we need to help each other. So we see our reflection in others also. So
that is so awesome.
Yes. So please, I encourage you to look at that website and become the member. Or if you think there are people who would need that kind of support or that kind of portal, please spread the word, and you will not regret signing up for that program. Because apart from whatever is available free, the best part is that the experts are offering their very high-end ticket programs at a very discounted rates for the members.
Nice.
And that means a lot.
Well, thank you so much, Nin. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show. And you know what? Just make sure that you go and check her out. And that's the Author to Authority podcast for today. We will see you on the next episode.
Take care. Bye.